Putin's evil plan has been overturned by the ingenious move of NATO countries. A large number of Wagner soldiers, who were blacklisted by Putin after the coup attempt, are being deported from Russia. By Putin's order, all Wagner soldiers stationed in Russia are being deported to Kaliningrad. The continuation of these developments, which have incredibly increased the crisis in Russian domestic politics, Putin's mistake has made everything even more confusing. With the unexpected move from NATO, which learned that the Wagner soldiers had been evacuated, Putin was literally cornered. As a result of the events that have caused great repercussions all over the world, the authority that Putin wanted to establish in the Eastern Bloc has been destroyed. The invading Russian army, which captured many critical areas on Ukrainian territory at the beginning of the Russo-Ukrainian War, has been largely repulsed along with its successive defeats in the recent period. The Russian armed forces, which are losing the chance to make moves against the Ukrainian army, which has the support of numerous world states, including the United States and other Western countries, have lost more than 250,000 soldiers every day. In addition, Russia, which has been dragged into a very big economic crisis, has come to a standstill in the shipments of ammunition and supplies for the army. As a result of the unrest caused by this situation, Putin, who feared a large-scale coup attempt by the Russian army in the near future, was betrayed by a name he never expected. The crisis in Russian domestic politics has increased incredibly with the coup attempt organized last June under the leadership of Yevgeny Prigozhin, the former leader of the Wagner Mercenary Group. Although the coup attempt launched by Prigozhin, who is considered to be extremely loyal to Putin, ended in failure as a result of the negativity experienced during the process, Putin had to make concessions to the repressive and authoritarian understanding of government that he tried to protect during his tenure. Putin, who wants to completely eliminate the Wagner soldiers under the command of Yevgeny Prigozhin, who was assassinated in recent weeks on the orders of Putin, who is showing a more paranoid administration every day, has decided to expel everyone who has the slightest connection with Wagner in the Russian army. Russian General Sergei Surovikin was the reason behind this decision, which led to an increase in tensions between the army and the administration. Enraged by the fact that General Surovikin, who was revealed to be one of the private members of the Wagner Group in the documents uncovered by the head of the Russian intelligence service, Sergei Narishkin, turned his back on him, Putin issued a warrant for Surovikin's arrest. Besides Surovikin, whose fate is still unknown, the duties of everyone who joined the Wagner Group on time were terminated. As a result of these developments, a large number of citizens residing in Russia began to think that they were living a prison life. At the time of the coup attempt, Putin had claimed that no Wagner member would be punished until this uprising ended. However, the facts proceeded in the opposite way. In a short time, a very chaotic environment occurred, with the issuance of a detention order against Wagner members, who were subjected to very large sanctions. Thousands of Wagner soldiers were arrested as a result of the detection of their houses of residence by the Russian intelligence service. While it was a matter of great curiosity what would happen to these Wagner troops, Putin signed another unthinkable decision. Putin, who ordered the deportation of all Wagner troops directly to Kaliningrad, thought that this would prevent a second coup attempt. However, with this decision creating much bigger problems, Putin's dreams came to an end before they could be realized. Andrei Belyakov, who was elected as the new leader of Wagner after Prigozhin was assassinated, continued to support the Wagner structure that Prigozhin had established in the region during the period when he took refuge on the borders of Belarus. Thanks to this, the Wagner Mercenary Group, which began to regain its former strength, took a very critical step against the Belarusian leader Alexander Lukashenko. The new Wagner leader, Belyakov, who is known as Putin's puppet, wanted to turn the problems Lukashenko has long had with the Polish government into an opportunity, contacted the Polish authorities. In this way, Belyakov, who demanded the return of former Wagner soldiers who fled to Poland after the coup attempt to be used in the new Wagner structure in Belarus, wanted to complete the work that Prigozhin had interrupted. Belyakov, who had already provided Wagner with a part of the budget allocated to the Belarusian armed forces, had also contacted anti-Putin oligarchs in Russia, along with other Wagner soldiers who would join the new Wagner organization, which soon found a major source of finance. It was seen as a matter of time before the Putin regime came to an end in Russia. During the ongoing negotiations between the Polish government and the new Wagner leader Andrei Belyakov, Putin deciphered the route to be used during the exile of Wagner soldiers in Russia. But when Putin realized that this choice was a huge mistake, it was too late for everything. Putin, who wants to pass Russian ships with Wagner soldiers who will be exiled to Kaliningrad through Polish territorial waters, has incredibly increased tensions in the world. However, as a result of the notification of Polish intelligence, which was aware of the situation, a large Polish navy immediately took action. Meanwhile, the Russian fleet, which continued to move at top speed, was surprised at what happened the moment they entered Polish territorial waters. Seeing a very large Polish navy in front of them, the Russian ships demanded a change of route because they realized that they could not use the route. But everything has become even more confused with the Kremlin's refusal to allow a change of course in any way. As soon as the Russian ships wanted to continue their journey, the Polish navy announced that they would intervene even if they violated the border. The Russian captains, who were already aware that the war with Ukraine was progressing very badly for the Russian army, were also afraid of going to war with Poland. With the change of route by the Russian captains who took the initiative, the ships carrying the doomed Wagner troops continued their journey. It was at this time that things completely changed when the new Wagner leader Andrei Belyakov put his secret plan into action. Russian ships with Wagner soldiers moved step by step into Belyakov's trap. Since they reached the blind spot, it became impossible for them to contact the center. A large number of unmarked ships docked around the Russian ships at once. In a short time, these unidentified ships, which had blockaded the Russian ships, began to wait with all their weapons ready. The captains of the foreign ships, who leaked the radio conversations of the Russian captains, who were confused about what to do, stated that they would start shooting if Wagner's troops were not transferred to their ships as soon as possible. There was almost no possibility that the ships, which already had a very small number of Russian soldiers, would respond. Russian captains, who also could not reach the Kremlin in any way, had to accept the ultimatum from foreign ships. Vladimir Putin, who found out hours later that the Russian ships that reached Kaliningrad were completely empty, went mad with anger. The authorities in Kaliningrad took action as soon as they learned that pirate ships were located in the area. But it was too late for everything now. Very soon, the sharing of images on social media showing that all Wagner troops planned to be sent to Kaliningrad were on the territory of Belarus fell like a bomb on the agenda of the whole world, especially Russia. Putin's mistake, which gave a huge opportunity directly to the new Wagner leader Andrei Belyakov, while trying to prevent the Wagner structuring in Belarus, became an object of ridicule all over the world. War analysts think that if Putin continues to make such mistakes, Ukraine will be able to win the war in a very short time.